When sales are down or just slow, the last thing you want to do is spend money on inventory. So we have found a way to get inventory completely free, and I have to say this is probably one of our most highly requested videos ever. We're here, we're doing it. This is all about how to get inventory from Flyp and how it's worked out for us so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think, spoilers for later in the video, I think it's gone very well.
Yeah, so we are going to break down for you exactly how much we've sold and exactly how much profit we've made up until this point and our experience, good, bad, and ugly. So make sure you stay for the whole thing. But to start off with, I want to explain to you guys how it works. How can you become a seller? What do you need to do? All of that. So let's just start off with
I'll let you take it away because I have no interaction with any of the Flyp side of things. I'm not involved.
Okay, so to start off with, you need to apply to become a pro seller. So I was a little bit confused because my first experience with Flyp was as a person who sent in inventory to be sold. So I wasn't really sure how to be a pro seller. I probably went the long way to do this, but I Googled how to apply to be a pro seller and I found a link and I clicked on it, applied, and within a day or two,
yeah, it was only a couple days. Yeah,
I was accepted to be a pro seller. They asked to see your selling platforms and they asked you a little bit about yourself. And yeah, I'm a full-time reseller. I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, and that's what I told them. And I was accepted, so that was awesome. Then you get to apply for lots. So the first thing to know is that lots drop at 6 p.m. on weekdays. So if you're looking at the app and you don't see anything, it's because you need to wait till 6 p.m. and it has to be a weekday. So from there, you get to apply for lots. So you want to say how that went?
So when we started, we had no idea, and the Flyp advice was to apply for 10 to 20 lots, I think.
Yeah, I think the rationale there is you're new, you don't have trust of sellers yet. So, it's kind of like buying from a zero feedback eBay seller type thing. So, kind of
there's some risk there, and then it's going to be a little bit harder than a more established person on the platform. Like that makes sense. We did not have that problem. So I think we got 3 of the first 5 bids that we put in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out on vacation, living my life, and I'm like, you know what? I want some inventory to come home to, so I'm just going to apply, and I'm going to take their advice and apply for a bunch so that I can, land one, right? So I think I applied for 5 the first night because I was busy. I was watching TV, whatever. So I didn't apply for the full 10, but I did 5. To my surprise, I woke up the next day to being matched to 3 of the 5. So that was scary. So yes, we were matched with 3 of the 5. Now, when you apply, you have to tell them what commission you want to make. And I think there are different things out there. Some people say 60-40. We did 50-50 because again, they told us, you don't have any feedback. So people aren't likely to work with you. So we wanted to make it as fair as possible, right? So the people will start trusting us, and then maybe we'll change our commission schedule down the road. But we did 50-50. So we were matched 3 of 5, and that was shocking. The next step from there is you need to, once you're matched, go through each item in the lot and let them know how much you think it's going to sell for, and you can give them a range on that. So do you have any opinions on this process?
So I very much believe, and we share this opinion, that it's better to offer a lower range than what you expect it to sell for. So for example, if you expect something to sell for $25 to $30, we went with the conventional wisdom of it's better to under promise and go 15 to 20, so that our thought is no one is going to complain if it sells for more than we told them.
Sure.
But they will complain if it sells for less than you told them, and there's going to be some hurt feelings there. So we would assume that if we just give them a low ball number and exceed that number, everyone involved is going to be happy.
Yes. Now, there are a few things to keep in mind here. With this, you are only getting 1 photo of the item, which means you don't generally see an up-close brand tag. So, for example, I have a Lily Pulitzer item that I got from a lot, and it's actually Lily Pulitzer for Target. I was able to find that out prior to bidding on the lot because I Google image searched it and found the item, but it's not always going to be possible for everything. So you might not know what line of an item you're going to get. They also don't disclose flaws that well. There's a very short line of things that they can tell you, so they don't have a lot of room for that. So you're kind of just going with hoping everything is in good condition and kind of hoping you know what you're bidding on. We've also had jeans that were put in there as jeans and they actually ended up being capris. So a lot of things. There's 1 photo is really tough.
I think the condition is probably the biggest hurdle that we've had so far. There's been a lot of things that have had minor stains or even major stains. shoes that have been very scuffed up. It's been a process, but it's still free. So it's on par with the bins condition, I would say.
Yeah, but all that to say, just when you're putting the numbers in there, be very careful and make sure that you're going at the low end, because again, you don't know what line you're getting, you don't know what condition you're getting, so just keep it low. After you've done that, you submit it. It will tell them a range of what they think the entire lot as a whole is going to sell for, and then they get to decide whether or not that is a comfortable number for them, or if they're looking for somebody that's closer to the range that they had in mind. So that only happened to us one time, that somebody said, hey, that's not something that we want, but that was not on that first day. But it has happened to us once where they said our numbers were too low, and you know, that happens. It is what it is. So once you've submitted the number and the person on the other end accepts that number, they then will be shipping the lot. So we were a little bit nervous because all 3 people the first round there accepted my number, and I'm like, we did not expect to be getting 3 lots. We're on vacation, we're heading home soon, but oh my goodness, we have 3 big lots coming. And I should note, I did purposely look for bigger lots because I wanted inventory. I wanted a lot of things to list, but I had 3 lots in that number coming. So
yeah, you had like 100 items coming in like 2 days, and we had to race. It was a race to get home before the packages got home.
Yeah, so that was a lot. So keep in mind, if you are doing this, you can look at how many items are coming in the lot, and you can kind of decide what works comfortably for you, but I just overdid it. We got all 3 lots. Luckily, they kind of staggered. One of them shipped right away, one shipped 2 days later, and another one took about a week to ship, so it did stagger a bit.
It worked out perfectly, actually.
Yeah, it actually worked out pretty well for us. So then from there, you have to list the lot. So they tell you need to confirm delivery, then you need to confirm inspection. Well,
Lesson learned. So if you have an item that is not up to par in terms of not being able to list it, if you say you don't accept this item, it permanently deletes it from the bundle.
yes.
It just disappears into the ether, never to be heard of again.
Yeah, so it'll have a big damage thing. You can't do anything with it. It's gone. So my problem here was, what I wanted to do was, I had gotten an item in the lot that was particularly damaged, but I was still going to list it. It just was not at all going to be in the range that I had priced it at. I don't remember exactly what the range was I originally priced it at, because again, this whole thing gets deleted. But it was like a $10, $15 swing where I was like, I just don't think I can possibly do that. This is too much damage. So what I wanted to do was let them know it was damaged so that I could either adjust my quote or it let them decide what they wanted to do. But I couldn't.
That does not work.
No.
Nope, that is not something that you are able to do.
No. So if an item has been damaged, what I was doing was I was sending a message to them, letting them know, hey, I've listed everything that you've sent in. Some of these items were damaged and may sell below the quoted price. Is that okay with you? Or would you rather I do not list items that were too damaged to meet the price that we talked about? And every single one of the people said, just list them. Let me know if anything is a problem or too low price and you don't think I want it. Just send me a message and we'll work it out. But everyone's been super nice, super understanding, and just wanted me to list. So that's what I've done going forward, listing the items and pricing as I can.
Now, Flyp obviously has a vested interest in you not sending anything back. So they would like 100% sell-through, which is not, in my mind, particularly realistic or fair. So they do have a set window. I think it's 90 days.
90 days is your first set window.
The first set window. And at that point, you can offer a buyout, donate, or return.
Buyout, donate, return, or extend. So we kind of looked through the items after the first window went through, and we're like, okay, these items aren't selling for us. I've dropped them to the lowest price that I've quoted. I've also asked them if they're willing to go any lower. I've done all of the things. I've relisted the items. I've taken new photos, everything, right? Done everything I can do. I don't want to offer a buyout because these items aren't going to sell for me. So I sent them a message and I offered them to extend, to donate, or to return, and all 3 of them opted to extend. And we have been making a few more sales since then, but that's where we're at right now. So all of them are on their second wind. The second extension is 45 days. So we're on that right now. We do have some new lots along the way. So we will break down for you what is sold for us and how much we have made. And at the end, we're also going to tell you who we think would benefit the most from this and who we think might not benefit at all.
All right, so on our first 4 lots, so we have a 5th lot that just came in.
It's not fully listed, so we're not going to count
a couple days ago. Like, it's just new.
Yeah.
So the first 4 lots, are in their extensions.
The fourth one is not. The fourth one is in its first round. So we're going to go in order. The first three are going to be the ones that are in their extension. And the last one that we tell you about is going to be one that is in its first round currently right now.
So the first one is underperforming a little bit. So this seller, or this person that sent the items, is not a reseller. So I think that there was a little bit less care in the condition of the items, which is hurting them.
Yeah, there was some damage to the items, and I think that they just weren't curated items like the other lots that we had, but they've been a really awesome person to work with, so I think it's okay that, unfortunately we're underperforming, but I don't think it's going to hurt us too much.
That first lot has a sell-through of 22%. So of the 28 items that we received, we have sold 6 of them, which is not terribly good, but it's better than 0.
Yeah.
And it had been at 0 for quite a while. So we've made a net of $36.84 after all the fees, after all of the flip charges and splitting 50-50, we've made $36.
Yeah, which is a free $36, so that's totally fine. The second one is at a 50% sell-through rate. Now we have sold 10 of the 20 items brought in, and it comes out to a net profit of $76.34.
So significantly better. Next one is also much higher than 22. It's at 43% sell-through rate. We've sold 10 of 24 items, and we've net $59.80. So almost $60.
Yes, and this seller has actually reached back out to me and asked me to do another lot, which is what the fourth lot is. It's them letting me know they had another lot, and they've also reached out to me again and asked me if I could do another lot for them. Unfortunately, Flyp has a cap of how many items you can have at a time, so I have not been able to take another lot from them, but pretty cool that they've been reaching out to me. I really like working with them, and their lots are selling pretty decently. So their fourth lot, which is in its first round, is at 41% sell-through rate, and I've sold 12 of 30 items and made $101.40. So if we take all of that together, remember, this is all completely free. I don't have to pay anything. The only thing I'm doing is giving them a cut. So net, after we've given them their cut and after we've taken our Poshmark fees out, we have made total
$274.38 on 38 items. So that's almost $10 an item, give or take. It's a little bit shy of that, but can't really complain about that.
No, and we like to look at this as this is money that we can reinvest into our business that we didn't have, that we had to do nothing for. And if we look at an average cost of $5 per item and an average sale price of $20 per item, what does that look like for our business?
So if we sell half of the items that we buy,
50% sell-through rate, which is about what we have.
You're looking at an extra $500 of $550 into your business with the $275 that you made from Flyp.
Yeah, so I mean that really does make a big influx into your business, really helps you out. So I do want to kind of just talk about who I think would benefit from this, because I do think that this is kind of a niche market.
Situational. It's definitely not for everyone. It's for certain people and certain circumstances.
Yes. So for us, we like to try to list between 7 and 10 items per day. We have scaled back a little bit because unfortunately sales have slowed down and we don't want to put too much money into our business. So we have been looking for avenues of ways to get items delivered to our house and ways to get cheaper inventory, because we don't live in a cheap inventory area. It's just not the case.
The average price has been going up. It's now $6 to $8, I think.
If not more,
yeah.
Especially in the jeans section, which we all know I love my pants. It's been really difficult. So for us, this has been a really great way for us to be able to increase our listings without increasing our spend. And it's been a really great way for us to try some of those bread and butter brands that we just frankly cannot get at our stores here because they just cost too much. I mean, a Chico's pair of pants here would probably cost between $8 and $10,
yep.
Which when you're selling it for between $15 and $20, that really is not enough profit. So it's not something we were able to really try. And now we're seeing, as you guys have said in the comments of one of our videos, Chico's does great. It's really a quick seller and it's really well known, brings traffic into your closet. It's really doing good. So we're able to see these bread and butter brands that we hear about all the time but can't try, how well they're doing.
Yes. So in terms of people that it will not necessarily fit into their business model, I think we have two primary categories.
Yeah.
The first is people that have an abundance of inventory, rooms and rooms and rooms of their house filled with items, which we have, but they're all listed.
Yeah.
So we have a very minimal pile of clothes that is to be listed and available to list before being cleaned or updated. So we are really in a crunch to find enough items on a daily basis.
Yes, so if you are staring at a death pile and you are just looking to get more fun things because you enjoy the hunt and the sourcing, I don't recommend this. I don't think that the items are going to be as high quality as you're able to find if your death pile is that high. And I also think, really, you got to get that death pile listed. Stop looking for more inventory. Get
It's
working.
money you've already burned. You might as well try to get money back for it. Just get the profit out of the business that you've already put into the cost you put in.
Yeah.
So.
And then for me, another category of people I don't think it's going to work for is people who have access to high quality items at a really, really low price. So I'm thinking like you binge shoppers and other people that have, dollar days and stuff like that, where you're able to get like an Alice and Olivia dress for $1, things like that, where we don't have access to that. That's just not something that happens around here. The closest bins is over an hour away, and our thrift store's price point is just really high. We don't have that. But for you guys that do, the quality of these items is not as high as that. So you are not going to get your super high-end items. I do think as you get more credibility on Flyp, you do get better and better items. But remember, people are sending these in because either they couldn't sell them or they're their own items and they don't want to sell them.
Yep.
The odds of getting those really, really high-end items is really low. So we're looking at brands like Talbot's, Chico's, J. Crew, some
Bauer.
Anthropology, Eddie Bauer. So if you have better access to better inventory, stick with your own inventory. This is more for people that are really struggling to find that inventory. I really think that is your niche market.
This is more for the filling in and complementing more than just building a business completely around it, because you're never going to get the same profit margin on a Flyp lot because you're splitting it down the middle or at a percentage that you are if you are able to find inexpensive, higher quality items that you can pick and choose and curate for yourself. So you know the condition when you pick it up, you know the style, you know all of that going into it, and your numbers are going to be better. You're going to be at $20-$30 ASP versus the net of $6, $7, $8, $10 on Flyp. So the last place where to me that it makes a lot of sense is if you have limited time. So if you are already working a full-time job and this is your side job, or you're a parent and you have to go to soccer practice or take care of the kids and you just don't have enough time for your everyday life, and we are certainly in that boat. We're very, very busy. This makes all the sense in the world because it is delivered to your house. You check it at 6 o'clock, you bid on a few things, you get it delivered straight to your house, you list it, and what sells. I think that it's the time, money, and the effort. So if you don't have abundance of inventory, or it's too high cost, or you don't have the time is money, those are where this makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, I do think we've had a really good experience. We have done a really good job getting some money back in our pockets to be able to then source and find higher end inventory. We have gotten some time back. We've been able to feed that algorithm. We've been able to try bread and butter brands. We've had a really good experience overall. I won't say that we've always had a good experience with Flyp.
Yeah,
so if
starting off it was bad.
Came here wondering what our full opinion of Flyp was, we have tried the side of Flyp where you send in items and somebody else sells it for you. And if you want to know our horrible experience with that, please check the link on the screen here.